Now, the word beautiful can hardly describe this roller coaster. Because it's crap! Hello, and welcome to Coaster Waffle, where today we will be reviewing the infamous hero at Flamingo Land.
Now, this roller coaster is the well-known, but not for the right reasons, Zamperla Volare. That is hero. I mean, this ride experience is just impeccable. But more of that to come.
So, the ride starts with a cattle pen queue line, which, if Flamingo Land operations do not improve, you'll be stood in for a fairly long time. So, you'll enter the ride, and you will enter the restraint system.
I mean, this is literally like walking into a cage. Like, psychologically, because you know you're going on a very, very bad ride, and because you are literally walking into a cage, you feel like you are about to die.
I think that is an understatement. When you are on this ride, death will be a sweet release.
Perhaps purgatory is a better way to describe this. I mean, the pain, it's just insufferable.
So, when you set off from the station, although in some cycles you probably didn't stop for the first place to make your experience slightly more terrifying. Anyway, you'll enter the lift hill, which is the best element of the ride.
I mean, I don't think you can even use the word station to describe it. To be quite honest, it isn't a station, it's literally just open.
It is just a metal cage, which symbolises the ride experience. Anyway, the lift hill is probably one of the most unique ones I've seen. It's a spiral lift hill, and it's the least pain you will feel on this ride.
I mean, that's just testament to this roller coaster. If the lift hill is the least painful and best part of a ride, something has gone wrong.
So you get to the top of the lift hill, and you get dispatched down a drop. Now, this drop, you get on it, and you think, it's not too bad. And then you get yanked into the 90-degree turn. Now, I'll let Mark talk about this one, as I can hardly bear to hold it in my imagination.
I mean, what can I even say? Imagine a wild mouse, but you are suspended in a cage. I mean, it's just not pleasant. You are whipped around this corner with some speed, and you break every limb and every single vertebrae in your body.
Now, quick disclaimer, this ride should not cause any literal harm. From a comment on our TikTok, your hair may be forcibly removed. However, you won't actually experience any long-term injuries.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Anyway, moving on.
It's more to do with the mental scarring, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
So, you then get plunged into the first inversion, which is a cross between a heartline and an inline twist. But to be honest, I can't even be bothered to figure out what this element really is.
I mean, the positioning of the body during this element would suggest it's a heartline roll, but the profiling makes me think, I don't know what it makes me think. It's just wrong. Like, it's so bad.
Either way, it is crap. Anyway, during this element, you might be able to survive without much pain, but this means that your feet must be on the ladder on the correct step.
Now, for a man who accidentally went on the wrong step, this was a pleasurable inversion.
I'm assuming that's sarcasm.
Yes, it's sarcasm. It was not fun.
You then go into another bank curve, and this is no more enjoyable than the last one. You then get a moment of sweet relief as you go into one of the many mid-course brake runs.
This isn't relief. This just isn't relief.
It's a moment to breathe and prepare yourself for the pain you are about to experience next on the cheeky double down.
Wow, why does this exist? Who thought a double down on a flying coaster would be a good idea? Providing some strange airtime when you don't need it in a restraint that will literally kill you if you receive any thought of negative G's.
Now, you thought that the pain of the banked curves was gone after the last one. However, it is not, because this is one of the most repetitive roller coasters I've ever ridden.
I mean, this is just a strange ride experience. I mean, whoever designed this, he thought he was a brilliant, brilliant man making a roller coaster in such a compact space, but oh boy, he was so, so wrong.
I will commend it for the ambition, however, it was a huge, huge failure.
It's just classic Zamperla. Cheap product, small layout, short footprint, but as always, poor execution. If Zamperla executed the roller coasters beautifully, it would be an incredible ride experience. But unfortunately, the interesting, I'll call it, restraint system and poorly profiled layout, it just doesn't make for a fun ride.
Rest in peace, Alberto Zamperla.
Fly high.
You then go in to the second inversion, and if the last one didn't finish you off, this does. It's debatably even worse.
I mean, the ride's just had all the opportunity to build up speed. So yeah, it's just not fun. Why does this roller coaster exist? These elements just make me question my existence and why I'm on this roller coaster.
And then, time for another banked turn. And this is no more pleasurable than the last one because it shares the same awful profiling, the same awful experience.
It's just, why?
Now, you have another mid-course brake run.
If the last one wasn't fun enough for you, we've got another moment to question your existence and why you're here.
I mean, look, on a roller coaster, who of us loves good pacing? Well, Zamperla sure don't. However, all of the inversions are now gone, and you are treated to a few transitions of many banked turns. None of these are pleasurable, however, they are not on the same degree as the other one, so they're not as painful. By now, you just know that soon your suffering will be over. You then thank the Lord because this ride is finally over. And trust me, even if you aren't religious, you would have been praying that a higher power put an end to your suffering.
You are then released from your imprisonment of the restraint system and are free to walk again. And trust me, you will be kissing the ground after this roller coaster. Like literally, you will be on the floor with your mouth to it. That is how happy you will be to have returned to the floor.
Or you've just passed out because of how horrid the ride experience was.
Don't worry though, Flamingo Land operations mean if no one else is in the queue, the ride up will send you again, regardless if you're alive or dead.
I don't think that this is strictly accurate. So, I think we can agree, well, anyone who's ridden it, that this ride is awful. The transitions are awful. The track profiling is awful. The inversions are awful. The ride cars are awful. The restraints are awful. And all of this makes for an awful ride, as you might suspect. So, I'm going to give this roller coaster a rating of 0.9.
Well, that is lower than I expected, but I can completely understand it is a bit dead. It's just such a bad ride. You've got to be a bit insane to ride it, but what us enthusiasts do for creds. I mean,
For the credit, lads.
we love a good cred, but
Some aren't worth it.
yeah, and this one isn't worth it. Just please don't ride this unless you really, really want to or have to. What other rides lose in quality and make up for it in fun or theming or the experience in general, but this has nothing. Everything is atrocious. No theming, nothing. It's just an unpleasant experience and it's just an ordeal. Why would you want to ride this?
For the credit. But never again.
So I'm giving it a 1.2. Slightly better than Tom's, but still very, very bad.
So this gives it a Coaster Waffle rating of 1.1, which I think's a tad generous, to be honest. I mean, it really is one of the worst experiences that you can have on a roller coaster. But anyway, if you hate Hero, just as much as we do, then make sure to smash that like button. And make sure to subscribe with the notifications clicked so you never miss us ranting about a roller coaster ever again.
I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
I am sorry as well.
Hero's bad. Goodbye.